Good morning, everybody. I'm really excited here to share some great news that we're trying to do here. I have a superstar of speakers in back of me, so I'm actually going to be brief. I'm just going to sort of give the parameters of what we're announcing, and I have a lot of thank yous, but I'll thank the speakers after they speak. I've already forewarned Gary Locke that he is the closer. Like the Mariners closed last night. He's the closer, so you gotta win the game for us, Gary. The most important concept of what we're trying to do in making sure this community here, the Chinatown-International District, children and elders and family and friends around here, any block here, any restaurant, any business, and feel safe and be safe. And this exciting investment, $1 million investment from the city, the Asian American Foundation, known as TAFF, Amazon, is designed to do that, to help our businesses, these blocks that we walk and treasure for decades and decades in their lives here, be safe in Chinatown, Japantown, and Little Saigon. Now, we know for too long that we've had conditions that are intolerable. People are struggling with health issues, addictions. There's been public safety issues, and we're trying, and we keep pushing that boulder up a hill, and we think we're making considerable progress when you look at the data. The ID Ambassador Program, it has a simple but very important mission to provide regular, visible, and reliable support to the neighborhood, to activate it through these fine people that believe in protecting and saving lives and helping people, and sometimes it can be as easy as giving someone in the back, fine human beings that are capable of doing this work. And I want to thank you for coming this morning. Let's give them a hand right now. This program is modeled after other successful ambassador programs that we partner with, like we're doing with the Downtown Seattle Association, the Mid-Ambassadors, the Ballard Alliance. These on-the-ground teams will serve as safety partners and neighborhood stewards. Again, they'll help connect people to services. You want to come in here to close-up shot? This is the better side over here, by the way. I'm just messing with you. They'll support tourists and local residents navigating the district. They'll build relationships and provide assistance to business owners. And I can't emphasize enough that a strong partnership with the county that runs the health system is needed in this kind of work. A lot of these people are sick. They need to be treated. They need services. And so I wanted to impress upon you that our partnership with the county that runs that system, this isn't the only thing we're doing, of course. This is one piece of the puzzle, and it builds on a lot of work we're continuing to do through the district. You know that our investments are helping improve the built environment through graffiti removal, art and better lighting here, for example, in Hinghey Park and King Street. We're expanding affordable housing and strengthening small business support and supporting more neighborhood activation. You've heard me use that term a lot since I've been mayor, activation, because at the end of the day, we want areas to be vibrant and active with the right kinds of activity. We're supporting community-driven efforts like the CID Visioning Group and the FODEP initiative led by Friends of Little Saigon. They're doing amazing work. We've doubled down on addressing the public safety and economic challenges facing Little Saigon. You see it. You see the work we're doing since November 1st, 2024. Our downtown activation team has completed 3 scheduled restoration actions, 3 completed scheduled restoration actions every day in the Little Saigon neighborhood. We're putting our resources where we believe our values are, which is to keep this community safe. But once again, change and progress doesn't come alone in City Hall. My style of leadership is one that is collaborative, and I look for great partners, great teams. The public sector, the private sector, our BIA, the businesses, advocates, you, community members and leaders working together toward a shared vision. And that is a great segue into listening to our next speaker. I'd like to introduce Georgette Bethena, the Chief Programs Officer at the Asian American Foundation, and we're so excited to partner with TAAF, TAFF. Am I saying it right? Yeah. Okay. TAFF on this exciting work, and Georgette will be sharing a very special announcement about how TAFF, along with their partners, are investing right here in Seattle to advance safety and economic prosperity for the AAPI community. We're very blessed and fortunate to have Georgette's leadership and her organization. And Georgette, I'm going to leave all this stuff up here because I'm sort of the MC. I hope it doesn't mess you up a little bit. Let's give Georgette a hand.
Thank you. Oh, sure.
Gotta get ready for my next speaker.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. So I'm Georgette Bethena, the Chief Programs Officer at TAFF. And TAFF was launched in 2021 in response to the rise of anti-Asian hate and to address the longstanding underinvestment in our communities. Our mission is to promote safety, foster belonging, and advance prosperity for our AA and HPI communities across the country. The Chinatown-International District has always felt like home to me. I was born and raised in South Seattle and spent a lot of time in the CID growing up. And during college, I was a docent at the Wing Luke Asian Museum, and I served as a student consultant to the Northwest Asian American Theater as well as the CID BIA, while at the University of Washington's Foster School of Business. Go Huskies. So I'm very excited about the CID Ambassadors program on a personal level. This program marks the launch of TAFF Cities initiative and is aimed at catalyzing cross-sector collaboration to support Seattle's AA and HPI communities. And we're also honored to have the support of Amazon as well as Bank of America join us as founding partners. TAFF Cities is focused on driving place-based change. So while we're a national organization, we know that a lot of important change and investment is needed and required at a local level. And we do that by working hand in hand with local leaders. Because across the country, AA and HPI communities are shaping the future of cities. But too often they're expected to do it without real investment. So to address this challenge, TAFF is supporting coalitions like this one across sectors, government, business, and community. And Seattle was chosen as a pilot city in this initiative because of its history as a major cultural and economic hub with a strong and vibrant AA and HPI community. So we're coming together to invest in neighborhoods like the CID, not as problems to fix, but foundations to build upon. And how do we do this? So to begin with, we can't talk about community investment without talking about the importance of safety. Through our partners, we have learned about the urgency and the need to develop solutions to prioritize safety. And we admire the work that's already being done here by community-based organizations like the Chinese Information and Service Center, CISC, and I see Michael in the audience, a leading organization responding to hate incidents, and also a partner who has been leading the way in providing services to our immigrant communities. And we released our Seattle Safety Study last fall to help identify gaps in public safety, areas for investment in city infrastructure, and also community resources that would help the city become safer for the AA and HPI community. There are two statistics that I want to share briefly. So according to the study, 54% of AA and HPIs in the city said that public safety is either a major problem or somewhat of a problem that needed to be addressed. Sadly, the study also showed that nearly 1 in 3 AA and HPIs in Seattle said they personally feared being attacked. So with the CID Ambassadors program, we're supporting a community-based solution to address these problems. The CID Ambassadors will walk and watch over neighborhood blocks to ensure that they are safer, cleaner, and cared for. So we believe that working together with coalitions like this one, we can strengthen neighborhoods, we can empower small businesses, and we can build cities where everyone belongs. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgette. Thank you, Georgette. In order to give a good speech, sometimes it's necessary to steal things. And what I loved what Georgette said was, this is not perceived as a problem to fix, but a foundation to build upon. I'll be stealing that in another speech, so I'm just giving you forewarning. That is exactly how we are approaching this. So next, we're going to hear from who you know, Taylor Wong, it's Senior Manager of Community Engagement at Amazon, to bring some brief remarks. But I want to thank Taylor for her strong commitment to our community here and to the city of Seattle through Amazon's efforts, and we are very fortunate that we have her at that position at Amazon. So Taylor, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor. I can't tell you how deeply moved and excited I am to be here today as we announce the CID Ambassador Program. This neighborhood holds a very special place in my heart. It's where my parents had their business, where I grew up, and where I've spent countless hours working with many of you, our partners in the community, to make this a safe and vibrant Foundation, the Chinatown-International District Business Improvement Area, Friends of Little Saigon, and many more partners in this coordinated $1 million investment. Last September, Amazon was honored to help bring back the night market, and we're excited to return this fall. Our commitment, our $250,000 commitment contribution to Friends of Little Saigon, in addition to what TAFF and the mayor has already announced, will help further demonstrate our commitment to supporting economic development and public safety in this neighborhood. This public-private partnership shows that we can achieve when government, business, and community organizations work with shared purpose. As someone who has witnessed this neighborhood's challenges, triumphs firsthand, I'm grateful for Amazon and the continued support and excitement that we will bring to this neighborhood. So thank you to all the partners and Mayor.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Next, I'd like to invite Twin Than, the new Executive Director for the CID BIA, to bring remarks. And, you know, a couple of weeks ago, Twin and I and others announced the launch of the Comcast Rise Small Business Grant Program, and that was indeed exciting, and she has hit the ground running. I'm very excited to reintroduce to most of you, because you already know her. Twin, please take it away.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. It might be a long one, but as you can see, we all have our pieces of paper that we're going to read from. So thank you for being here today. I want to share a moment that stuck with me. A few months ago, a small business owner in the CID told me, "I just want to feel like someone has our back." And that stuck with me because it captured what so many in our community have been feeling for years: unseen, unheard, and left to fend for ourselves. Getting to this point took a tremendous amount of work. It took long meetings, a lot of them, difficult conversations, and people who refused to give up. So I want to thank Natalie, the CID BIA team, Jeff Liang, TAFF, the City of Seattle, Office of Economic Development, and and Amazon, Bank of America, and all the other hands and hearts who helped make this possible. Today is a turning point. The launch of the Safety Ambassadors isn't just about visibility, it's about trust, presence, and hope. This is what the community asked for, and it's a step toward reclaiming our streets with dignity and care. We still have a lot of work ahead, but this moment matters. And it's a reminder that when we listen, invest, and show up, we can move toward the kind of neighborhood we all deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Twin. Before I introduce our next speaker, I'd like to just recognize that former Councilmember Tanya Wu is here. Thank you for being here. And former Councilmember David Della is here. Once a community public servant, always a community public servant, and we know how much you love this community. Thank you. Let's see here, going down the list of superstars. Another critical partner, Quinn Pham. Many of you know Quinn, Executive Director of Friends of Little Saigon, and we want to recognize the outstanding leadership Quinn has shown. And Quinn, please bring us some remarks.
Ooh. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Are you still awake? Yeah. Hi, my name is Quinn Pham. I am the Executive Director of the Friends of Little Saigon. We're a place-based community development organization dedicated to preserving and enhancing the cultural, economic, and historic vitality of Little Saigon. Over the past year, Friends of Little Saigon has engaged more than 100 stakeholders in conversations about community safety, identifying our challenges and working together on potential solutions. This collective effort has led to the launch of the FODAP, Beautiful Neighborhood Initiative. Through it, we developed a comprehensive safety plan, formed a community coalition, and secured financial investments, not just for Little Saigon, but for the Chinatown-International District as a whole. This initiative has fostered true, meaningful collaborations and partnerships, strengthened trust, and helped us leverage community and local government resources. Together, we are implementing very tailored, immediate solutions while also building momentum for longer-term progress. Our interventions, really briefly, are really grounded in 3 strategic areas. It's around improving neighborhood conditions using crime prevention through environmental design principles, bolstering our small businesses, and building community capacity and providing human-centered services. Shout out to We Deliver Care. Thank you all for your work. In other words, improving the neighborhood block by block, strengthening our small businesses, and truly investing in the people and the lives in this neighborhood. And this work is made possible by both public and private partnerships. So I want to, again, thank the City of Seattle for their commitment and continued work towards this shared community vision. We're grateful for this ongoing partnership and support for our neighborhood, but we know that there's still a lot more to be done. And with this public partnership, as you've heard, we've been able to leverage our private investments. As mentioned, Amazon is contributing another $250,000, which will specifically go to support safety, security, and culturally specific capital improvements in Little Saigon. So thank you again to our city leadership, TAFF, and Amazon for your commitment to the CID and for helping us expand the impact of this critical work. Thank you.
Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, Quinn. See how efficient we are here? That's how we run the show here in Chinatown International District. You know, not only is this Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, it's also Small Business Awareness Month. And one of our strongest partners, the City of Seattle, and strongest leaders in this area is Laura Kleiss. She, of course, is from the Intentionalists, and she'll bring some brief remarks, and we just love working with Laura. Laura, take it away.
Good morning. I'm Laura Kleiss. I'm the founder and CEO of Intentionalist and self-proclaimed small business superfan. At Intentionalist, we believe that where we spend our money matters, and that everyday decisions about where we eat, drink, and shop are opportunities to connect with and intentionally spend money in support of the small businesses at the heart of our communities. We're here today for the love of Seattle's Chinatown International District. Neighborhoods whose story is still being written every day by the people and small businesses who call it home. We're also here today because we believe in what's possible through community. When we connect with, show up for, and invest in people and places that matter. The power of community and collective action is what Amplify Chinatown International District is all about. Amplify Chinatown International District is a cross-sector collaboration with the City of Seattle, the Asian American Foundation, Visit Seattle, and Seattle's FIFA World Cup 2026 Local Organizing Committee. The activation supports 35 small businesses throughout Chinatown, Japantown, and Little Saigon. I want to shout out Vlac Media, who worked with us to capture professional photos of all of the businesses that help tell the story behind every storefront. Local Filipina artist, Shayla Hafana, created the Amplify Chinatown International District artwork and digital marketing assets that partners are using to promote the businesses. And this Saturday, May 17th, alongside the CID-BIA and Friends of Little Saigon, we're excited to welcome the community to come out, explore the neighborhoods, and use the free Amplify Chinatown International District Small Business Pass to enjoy free treats and discounts at 35 local businesses. And thanks to the Asian American Foundation, the cost of all of the discounts is covered, which means that the deals that we enjoy don't come at the expense of the small businesses that we love. The next chapter of the story of Seattle's Chinatown International District is being written by all of us and the intentional decisions we make. Amplify Chinatown International District is our way of saying these neighborhoods matter. These businesses matter. And we can all play a part in helping them thrive when we spend like it matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. You know, our next speaker is Yenvi, and this is what it's all about, a small business owner. I was just trying to get to know her a little better, and I asked her what high school she went to. She didn't say Garfield or Franklin, so I said, I'm not going to say that. I said, what's your favorite hobby? She says, eating. So I'm going to go with that and how appropriate for what she does for a living. I think many of you know Yenvi. Yenvi is Pham is owner of Hello M in Fobach, and we are delighted to have her bring some remarks to us. And she loves to eat, means she must love to cook. So take it over, Yenvi.
Good morning. Y'all hear me? Wow, what a crowd. I was so unprepared, but it's okay. That's what we do. Anyways, I'm Yenvi Pham. I grew up in Seattle, born at Swedish. My parents opened the first pho back in 1982, so this is my hood. This is where home is, right? And we want to continue that home for generations to come. The hope of this ambassador program is to kind of reconnect to each other, to have a human-to-human connection, and to break down the barriers between those who need help and the everyday person. Right? In my time here, we've seen some really traumatic things. Just maybe 2 weeks ago, someone OD'd in front of a soup shop, right? And it was like 8 p.m., there was customers, and this guy was laying there, and everyone was just walking past him. And like, I wasn't there, but I was watching on my cameras, because the cops asked for cameras. But anyways, I was watching the camera, and I just saw how sad it was, that how easy it is to ignore, right? So what is this ambassador program? This ambassador program is to engage, to actually care for each other and see if anyone's doing okay. Because most of the time, if someone's acting a fool, they're in pain, you know? And most of the time, they just want someone to talk to. So this is that little step, that very obtainable thing to do, is to engage and not ignore, to give attention to someone that may not get attention, right? And that helps everyone. Because, you know, we're not gonna eradicate homelessness. We're not gonna eradicate drug use. It's not gonna happen, you know, that's the reality of it. But what we can do is just try to reach out and try to de-escalate. And most of the time, it's just, people just want to feel loved, right? And this is what that ambassador program can do, is just have that human connection, break down the barriers, and just get back to just talking to each other, right? And so I'm very excited for this. I'm really excited for all the organizations behind this. Everyone behind me. Do you see how they're all ladies, by the way? All the ladies in the house, that's right. And 2 gentlemen, of course. But thank you for your time. I'm really excited for the program, and let's do this. Bye. Thank you.
That's real talk from Yenvi. Real talk. And now, the closer. Standing at 6 foot, weighing 190 pounds. You know him as the governor. You may know him as Commerce Secretary. You may know him as the ambassador to China. I present to you, by the way, athletes always exaggerate their size, Gary. That's where I was going with that one. I present to you Gary Locke.
Thanks, Mayor. We're talking about maintaining the vibrancy of our communities. And I can tell you that the Chinatown-International District is very dear to my heart. As a little kid, my mom and dad used to come to some of the Chinese groceries and get Chinese food, herbs. I used to be in the Boy Scouts, and we met at Chinese Baptist Church just a few blocks up from here. Many of us have grown around this community. But what does it take to be a vibrant community? You want those small businesses run by mom and pops to be successful because they support their families. You want the restaurants to be attractive and bringing people here. We want open spaces where our seniors can play ping pong and just walk around and enjoy. But everybody needs to feel safe. And government cannot do it by itself. It's not just the police department, but it's human service organizations that take care of the needs of the people, whether it's mental illness or housing and health care and food. It's the involvement of business associations that advocate for the businesses that are here. Again, really run by mom and pop enterprises and families, not big corporations and faceless people, but people of our community. And of course, we really need to make sure that everybody is pulling together. Nonprofits can't do it by itself. Government can't do it by itself. The police can't do it by themselves. And so we have programs like the ambassadorship program, sponsored by nonprofits, sponsored by corporations, and pulling all the elements of this community together to make sure that it remains vibrant. The Chinatown International District has seen some hard times over the last several years, especially during the COVID era. It's hard to come back from that isolation and closure when shops are boarded up and people feel kind of out of place. But that's what this program is all about. And so I'm really excited with the leadership of the mayor, nonprofit organizations, including TAFF, and the ambassadors program and the participation and contributions of corporations. We're saying that we want the Chinatown International District to remain vibrant and to be better than ever before. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gary. So our ambassadors will work 7 days a week. Let me make that very clear. From 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Our We Deliver Care investment and that fine organization will work 7 days a week from 7:30 to 3. So we're trying to demonstrate to the community that we love that we're here for you. And with that, if there are any questions, we'd love to entertain a few questions. And I will say I want to thank the speakers for, to coin the phrase used against the envy, real talk. And if there's any questions that you would like to respond to, you have the license to do that. So are there any questions that I could address? Yes, sir. Mr. Lynch. Yes. Envy. Encore, encore, encore.
What does all of this mean for your family business, and how excited are you?
And what's going forward, correct? What it means is that we're able to have a safe environment for our staff, for our customers, and and just really create, like for me, my personal goal is just to enjoy my neighborhood, right? To work in it, to hang out in it, have a few drinks, walk the streets, and not have to worry about my public safety, right? That's about just bringing people together and having this amazing energy in this neighborhood where we can enjoy. Run is just a place where we can really come together and gather. I think Seattle's missing gathering places, and the CID is so much potential to bring back what it used to be of gathering and bringing people together again. That's what it means. Yenvi is Y-E-N, V as in Victor, Y, P-H-A-M as in mother. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Envy. Yes, sir.
The Downtown Ambassador Program has ongoing revenue source. What are the prospects for the long-term sustainability of this?
Yes, so the question is, for those in here, what is the long-term sustainability plan, which is on this project, could be differentiated from some other ambassador programs? So we're working through that. We think that, once again, we're going to demonstrate that this is a good investment. And again, I want to thank Amazon and TAFF. We're going to demonstrate there are other corporations out here that are looking, they see this as the economic vitality. So my executive team are looking at sustainability streams, and we think we're going to make a good case with this. I don't want to call it a pilot, but we'll look at that, and the city, of course, will step up as we have in the past. We have approximately $500,000 in this investment, and this is a treasure investment, so we'll make our decisions accordingly, but we feel like this is going to be a sustainable program. Yes? Yeah, the question is, what makes this different? Why does this sort of stand out? And I guess I'd answer it this way. We've seen the MID ambassadors, we've seen the Ballard Alliance Ambassadors, and we've seen members of our downtown activation team. So it's not necessarily different in that sense. This strategy works. So we're not trying to create something that is not working in other parts of the city. The fine gentlemen standing in back of me are experienced doing this job, and we're actually looking for, I've been told, more ambassadors. And so any of those that are interested in helping keep a community safe, come and join. So we are employing what we can perceive as the best practice that works in communities, people that actually love and want to protect their own community, walking around here and being vibrant. So we're just sort of continuing with a strategy that works.
Can you specifically address My Park for me? We've talked to people just recently, just a week ago, who refer to that as dope slope. And what is this plan going to do to rectify that situation? What's the plan for that?
So I couldn't even hear half the question. Yeah, please. What specifically another part of Chinatown are you referring to? Yeah, and I haven't heard the terms you're using, that's why.
My Park.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you familiar with that? That's that new park?
No, I'm familiar with that one.
Okay, it's across from...
No, I know exactly.
Okay.
I just couldn't hear you.
Yeah, what I'm asking is, what does this plan do about that? Just last week we were talking to business owners and people who live here who refer to that as dope slope. It's a public safety concern, and it just keeps getting worse. So how does this fix that?
Good question. So when we participated in the opening of that park, we had so much excitement because this is an investment that the city are making. And again, I actually alluded to this in my earlier remarks. There are people that are sick out there. I think Yenny sort of alluded to that as well. And we don't have the county standing with us right now. And what we think this strategy does is, number one, it gives more activation, more people that can help get people services. A lot of these folks don't have any social ties. We also have to get good information to our police department. So what this does is basically gives us the ability to form relationships, to let our police department know where there's serious criminal activity that we have to investigate and possibly arrest, but it gives us more eyes on the ground. And I've made it very clear that my public safety strategy and enforcement ability should not be confused with a public health approach. That I do lead with empathy. When people are sick, I want them treated. And so I made comments earlier about improvements with our health department and what we have to do when we look at what we're seeing. So some people are bad actors, and we will take the appropriate action there, but many of these people need help. So these ambassadors are just that. They are ambassadors. This is like a home for them, and so they'll make sure that we get the right information to take the right action. Okay, yes, sir.
If someone point a knife at you, where are you going to report that? The problem here, I live here a long time. I cannot find policemen to report to. I don't even know where the police station is. And I can only talk to the security guard at the library station. And they just they couldn't answer my question. And what should I do?
Okay, I'm going to talk to you because you're not with the press, correct? Okay, can you just stick around after this and we'll make sure we give you that information. Thank you for being here, by the way. So we'll talk to you off camera, answering your questions. Okay, David, do you have another question?
What sort of reassurances can you give to this community? I remember when we talked to you in the past over the hot spots in 12th and Jackson, in Little Saigon, and we're going to fix that, and that's an issue. Well, here we are years later, and it's still an issue. So what sort of reassurances can you give this community that this is going to make a difference?
So I'll look at the data. And once again, we are here for a reason. That is to show a continuum of investments in the Chinatown International District. The fact of the matter is that crime rates are down across the board 18%. The fact is that homicides are down in our city 27.5%. The fact of the matter is that violent crimes are down 12.5%. The fact of the matter is that shots fired are down 22%. We lead with data. And what we're showing is, once again, when we're in Chinatown International District, that this is an investment that we will continue to make. These partnerships we formed with TAFF, these partnerships we formed with Amazon are a result of them being willing to partner with us and the city being willing to look for partnerships. This just doesn't happen organically. I love Laura Slice's organization's name, The Intentionalist. We are very intentional about protecting this community. That's the assurance I'll give you. Many of you know my roots here in this community. Many of you know that my personal family of my aunts and uncles have owned property here. I'm not stranger to it. I was only born a couple of miles from here. So under my administration, we will continue to invest in this community because of what it means to this entire city. Dare Gary Locke that I say what this community means to the entire state. And with that, I'm not going to take any more questions. And I want to welcome Councilor, Port Commissioner, where are you looking, Sam Cho? Port Commissioner Sam Cho here. I'll take some more questions. David, did you have a question? That was my mic drop, by the way, but go ahead. Because I have nosy background, I just can't hear.
The late
night lounge legislation.
I don't think that
I didn't hear the second part of your question.
It's still being. Yeah, it's still at the. I believe it hasn't been finally passed yet. I think it's still in deliberation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not in effect yet, but. Again, this is one of the areas among many that we're looking at on how we could be smart and how we can enforce some of the laws in the books.
How are you going to measure this, Mayor? I mean, it's one thing to come here and say we're going to do this, and I get that it's a community, government, private partnership, public partnership, but how are you going to measure whether it's successful? How are we going to know? I know you're a data guy.
Oh.
Doing quarterly surveys with the businesses, the residents, as well as visitors to the neighborhood. So, a text message, fill it out.
Do you know any specific about Wamai Park and getting that area restored?
I don't know any specifics about it, but I definitely see it. Yeah. Twin, T-U-Y-E-N, last name Tan, T-H-A-N. Thanks.
Okay, it looks like I'm going to. Can I talk to you after? No, I'm going to respect the elder. Go ahead.
We're adding this new program and hopefully.
Thank you. Your name is Mr.
Yes, please. Let me say what Mr. Chucking said. We're going to come on. Mr. Chucking said that He's been here a long time, and I'm the best mayor he's ever seen in his entire life. And he said that he's hopes that this works, and he's got a Husky coat on too. So he's just really he's on fire, Mr. Tugging. Thank you for your comments, and we're going to have another address to a previous question.
Okay. I just wanted to address the Huamai Park question because I know that has been one of the identified focus areas or hotspots. Many of you who pass by Huamai, it's right across from Lamb Seafood on King between 12th and Rainier Avenue. Our newest park, it's been open less than a year, but we're still seeing just the highest number of challenges there. Let's just put it that way. I think there has been a lot of focus on addressing things like that, addressing the challenges there. We see, like, We Deliver Care make their presence. The city has done a lot with their, the DAT, right? DAT team to do both outreach and cleanup and all of those things. And so I think there is an effort, but I believe there could be more done to prioritize the resources to at least address the problems in different phases. It can't be a kind of a piecemeal approach from services to activation to other physical and art investments. They need to line up to see the actual impacts and improvements at the park. We're also going to make it prettier and more activations there.
Again, thank you for being here. Follow up on the question. May 19th is when the nightlife ordinance will kick in and is applied, so I want to give you that information, David. Thank you for being here. This means a lot to us, but when you show up like this, community, and even the media, when you show up like this, it means you care as well. So thank everyone for being here, and let's make it a great day. Thank you very much.